Chemical symbols and formulae. What do they mean? Think of where you might have seen these symbols outside of the classroom. Today, you will represent element using chemical symbols, understand the basics of IUPAC, nomenclature in naming compounds, use chemical formulae to represent compounds. Do you know Swedish scientist Jones Jacob Berzelius introduced the modern system of chemical symbols. He represented the elements using one or two letters from their Latin names. Chemical symbols. These are shorthand ways to represent elements in chemistry. Recall that an element cannot be broken down into simpler substances. Each symbol is made up of one or two letters. For example, sodium Na. Always capitalize the first letter. Importance of chemical symbols. They provide standardized ways of representing elements, making communicating information about elements and compounds easier. They offer a concise and simple way to represent elements in chemical equations, eliminating the need to spell each element's name. Common chemical symbols. H. Hydrogen, derived from the Greek hydro and gene, which mean water forming, most abundant element in the universe. O. Oxygen. Name comes from the Greek oxy and genes, which means acid forming, essential for life. C. Carbon, derived from the Latin carbo, meaning charcoal, found in all known life forms. N. Nitrogen, comes from the Greek nitron and genes, meaning nitrate forming, constitutes about 78% of Earth's atmosphere. Na. Sodium, derived from the Latin natrium, soft metal that easily transits when exposed to air. Cl. Chlorine, name derived from the Greek chloros, which means greenish yellow, widely used in disinfectants and cleaning products. Symbol Scrabble. How many elements can you recognize from the chemical symbol below? Name as many as you can with the help of your peer. Answer key. Symbol Scramble. Elements are often named based on their characteristics, the substances they were extracted from, how they were found, methodologically being locations, are notable individuals. Au gold, Ni nickel, Mg magnesium, I iodine, P. phosphorus, Ag. silver, K. potassium, Ca. calcium, Hg. mercury, Ai. aluminium, Zn. zinc, C. carbon. The periodic table of elements. There are 118 chemical elements listed in the periodic table in a specific order. Rules on how to name new elements in the periodic table are set up by the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry IUPAC. The role of IUPAC. IUPAC is responsible for establishing unambiguous and consistent naming system, also known as nomenclature and terminology. It has a system for naming chemical compounds that provide a standard language for scientists worldwide. Naming compounds. A compound is a substance containing two or more elements that are chemically bonded. A chemical formula is an expression showing the elements in a compound and their relative properties. It contains a combination of chemical symbols and numbers. The chemical formula for carbon dioxide is CO2. Naming compounds. Carbon dioxide is a compound of carbon and oxygen. Shown below is the molecular model of carbon dioxide. One carbon atom and two oxygen atoms because of the subscript 2. Naming ionic compounds. An ionic compound is composed of a metal and non-metal. Some of the basic rules when naming ionic compounds include: number 1, a metal will always come first in a chemical formula, followed by a non-metal. For example, sodium chloride NaCl. Number 2, an ionic compound with the two elements will have a name that ends with IDE. For example, copper sulfide CuS. Number 3, a compound with three elements including oxygen will have a name that ends with ATE or ITE. Sodium sulfate NaSO4. Naming covalent compounds. A covalent compound has two or more nonmetals. Some of the general rules when naming covalent compounds are: number 1, the nonmetal farthest to the left on the periodic table comes first. For example, carbon dioxide CO2. Number 2, a covalent compound with two elements will have a name that ends with IDE. For example, sulfur dioxide SO2. Number 3, use the prefixes mono, di, tri, tetra to indicate the number of that element in the molecule. For example, carbon tetrachloride CCl4. Naming covalent compounds. Remember that many covalent compounds have common names that are widely accepted. For example, water H2O, two hydrogen atoms, one oxygen atom. Ammonia, NH3, 1 nitrogen atom, 3 hydrogen atom. Methane, CH4, 1 carbon atom, 4 hydrogen atom. Chemistry name game. Identify the correct chemical formulae for the following compounds and write their names in the comments below. Potassium bromide, lithium iodide, carbon monoxide, sulfuric acid, potassium nitrate. Here are the answers. Potassium bromide KBr, lithium iodide LiI, carbon monoxide CO, sulfuric acid H2SO4, potassium nitrate KNO3.
My dear friends, please like and subscribe my YouTube channel for more interesting lessons.